Ancient Jericho of Israel, the world's oldest walled city, is 5,500 years older than the pyramids. The ancient city of Jericho is the world's oldest walled city with evidence of stone fortifications that date back nearly 10,000 years. Archaeological digs have turned up traces of habitation that are even older, up to 11,000 years ago. Ariha, which is prominently known as Jericho, is situated in the west bank of Palestine, is believed to be one of the oldest settlements on earth, dating back to around 9000 BC. Archaeological investigations have detailed its lengthy history. The city is of significant archaeological value as it provides evidence of the first establishment of permanent dwellings and the transition to civilization. Residues of Mesolithic hunters from around 9000 BC, that's 11,000 years ago, and of their descendants living there for a long period were detected. Around 8000 BC, the residents constructed a large stone wall around the settlement, which was reinforced by a massive stone tower. The settlement was home to around 2,000 to 3,000 people, which supports the use of the term town. This period witnessed the change from a hunting style of living to full settlement. Furthermore, cultivation types of wheat and barley were discovered, which implies the development of agriculture. It's very likely that irrigation was invented for more space for farming. The first Neolithic culture of Palestine was an autochthonous development. Around 7000 BC, the occupants of Jericho were succeeded by a second group, bringing a culture that had not yet developed pottery but was still of the Neolithic era. This second Neolithic stage ended around 6000 BC, and for the next 1000 years, there's hardly any evidence of occupation. Sometime around 5000 BC, that's 7000 years ago, the influences from the north, where numerous villages had been established and pottery was used, began to show in Jericho. The first inhabitants of Jericho who used pottery were primitive compared to those before them, living in sunken huts and likely being pastoralists, that means shepherds. Over the next 2,000 years, occupation was minimal and may have been sporadic. At the start of the 4th millennium BC, Jericho, as well as the rest of Palestine, saw a resurgence in urban culture. Its walls were repeatedly rebuilt. However, around 2300 BC, an interruption in urban life occurred due to the arrival of the nomadic Amorites. Around 1900 BC, they were replaced by the Canaanites. Evidence of their houses and furniture found in tombs provides an insight into their culture. This is the same culture that the Israelites encountered when they invaded Canaan and eventually adopted. The Israelites, led by Joshua, famously attacked Jericho after crossing the Jordan River. That's in the Old Testament of the Bible, Joshua 6. After its destruction, according to biblical account, the city was abandoned until Hiel the Bethelite settled there in the 9th century BC, according to 1 Kings 16:34. Additionally, Jericho is mentioned in other parts of the Bible. Herod the Great spent his winters in Jericho and passed away there in 4 BC. Excavations in 1950 to 51 revealed a grand facade along the wall, the Wadi al-Qilt, likely part of Herod's palace, which exemplifies his reverence for Rome. Other remnants of impressive structures were also found in that region, which later became the center of Roman and New Testament Jericho, about 1 mile south of the ancient city. The Crusader Jericho was located around a mile east of the Old Testament site where the modern town was established. And this was written by Kathleen Mary Kenyon, principal of St. Hugh's College, University of Oxford, 1962, as well as director of the British School of Archaeology in Jerusalem, 1951 to 1966. The author of multiple works such as Archaeology in the Holy Land and Digging Up Jericho. And this is on MRU. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account, the daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.